I just heard. I just heard.
Heard what?
I just heard about the accident. I'm really sorry. I wish I could have come sooner.
I wish I could have come sooner.
I wish I could have come sooner. Anyway, that's how I chose to start this. Welcome! We're back!
That was literally related to nothing, to be clear. I have no idea where that came from. Me and Audrey were talking for like 20 minutes before this even started.
Just because I just heard about the accident doesn't mean the accident's already happened. Sometimes I can hear things about the future, so I'm just telling you, I just heard. Get ready. Oh my god!
We're in person!
We're in person for the first time. We've been doing this for fucking ever.
For the first time we've ever met.
We've just met.
By the way, Audrey's like too.
I know. I didn't lie. It's just that when we were knowing each other, we filled out a form about info about each other. I accidentally put 6 instead of 5, so I actually thought I was 6'2", but it was an honest mistake.
Yeah. When I read that Audrey was 6'2", I thought we were gonna date once we met in person.
Yeah.
But
Now
I
we
felt catfish.
We can't actually do that because Sunny is 15. She always joked about being it. Well, but that's the thing. I thought it was jokes. Turns out it's not. So.
Yeah. So he's actually 5'2", and I'm actually being groomed.
Yeah. So I'm not liking the situation. Anyway, that's the episode, you guys. Subscribe and also like and hit the bell. Oh my god. Okay. This is just a one-time reunion, so you guys better enjoy this. But episode 101, this is so exciting.
Wow.
Actually recording together in the same room for the first time in 60 episodes.
Yes, wait, we should title it Hoey 101.
I like that. There's gonna be a lot of
My
hoeing on
mind.
this one, so.
Yes.
Dude, your mind is powerful. I can't. Hi all. Let's catch up. There's been a lot of horrible shit that's happened in the world recently. But before we get into that, how have you been, Sunny?
I really thought you were about to say horror, as in like a lot of horror shit.
Yeah.
That too.
Yeah, that's how I'm gonna jump into like the shooting. Horror jokes.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I have been doing well. I'm a teacher.
You're a teacher.
So,
You're a teacher.
I hope that I don't die defending my students. Actually, maybe I do. That seems like a really good way to go out.
Nothing controversial. And this is obviously just a joke, but like if you're gonna go out, there's obviously less honorable ways to go out. But like actually getting serious, like damn, what the fuck? Like what the fuck? Yeah. I'm surprised I didn't text you this. I guess it totally like I didn't think about the fact.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I get it.
I forgot you were a teacher because like I was texting everyone this shit, but like
But you didn't text your teacher friend.
Yeah,
because you don't care.
Precisely. I was upset and angry about this for at least 2 days. Like actually, like I felt it in my body. I just my mind was like, what the fuck on a loop. But like an angry what the fuck. Like how is this happening? But then I was like, well, obviously I know how this is happening. Yeah. And then I would like find tweets that like explain exactly how I felt and like send it to my group chat or something. And like.
Yeah. No, someone texted me like, hey, Sunny, how you doing? Because they cared about me and they were taking me on a teacher friend.
Can't relate.
And I was like, well, I don't really teach white men. Like the kids who go to my school are vastly
you can shape their brains. Do it right.
No, so I was just gonna say I'm not as at high of risk, I think. But then I was like, well, what if the handful of white boys who do go to my school feel more isolated as a result, and
or empowered by the fact they don't have to face
becoming a
diversity around them? It's like isolationism makes them like think they're the only kind of person in the world.
Yeah. So are they at a higher risk of becoming a school shooter? I guess we'll find out. We'll see if I die within the next how many years. But yeah. You know, I'm not that scared of school shootings. Actually, in Stockton, which is another city in California.
Yes.
There's recently a stabbing at a high school.
Another city in California as opposed to which one? Because the shooting happened in Texas.
Yeah, well, I mean another city in California, assuming I live in a city in California.
Yeah, of course.
Location reveal. But there's recently a stabbing. Somebody just walked onto campus and stabbed a student.
Your point being?
Life's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah.
And schools are technically like public places, you know?
I know, but like, I don't know. I almost feel like you don't want to make the shooting a big deal because like you have to teach at a school.
Oh yeah.
But like, and so you don't want to like.
I feel like scared on the day to day. I honestly, you know, it's a what are the odds thing where I'm like, I guess I'll just take that risk and roll the die.
I mean, that's true because you can die from anything. But actually, I think I vehemently disagree. I talked to my boyfriend, and this is like the next 30 seconds are serious, but that's all you guys are getting. And I was like, I don't want you and I to have a kid unless this is like solved by the time we want to have one, or we're moving countries. And I meant that, and he said okay, and that was that conversation. Because I don't want my fucking kid to die at school. I think that's uber fucked up.
I agree. Maybe you could look up the rates at like public versus private schools. Put your kid in a super rich school.
I mean, but that's the thing, like, even having to worry about that. But, I don't know, maybe you have some kind of unique ticket because you're a teacher, but that's how I honestly feel. I think that I shouldn't have to think about that.
Yeah, I think that's fine. First off, you're not obligated to have kids in the first place.
Also, yeah, like, even if no kids, like, I just don't like the fact that, like, still to this day, whenever, like, I go into a movie theater, I'm like, Batman in Aurora. Like, literally. Like, that's not normal. Yeah. People in Switzerland don't have to think that. Probably have to think about other stupid shit, like their taxes, but...
Yeah. Or like how fucking amazing their chocolate is.
Yeah, also that.
Yeah, or the way billionaires are stashing away money in their banks there.
That's a pretty good one to think about.
I'm sure that's the 3 things that cycle on loop
every time they go to a movie theater. Yeah. Listen, there are way worse countries in the U.S. to live in. Arguably, I used to live in one before I lived here, but...
You came from a shithole country, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
I knew it. I knew you were a minority.
But I think it is absolutely true what some wokies on Twitter say, that like part of the reason why the U.S. is so great, people forget, is that it can be criticized in order to be constructed in a better way.
Oh, yeah.
And like, that's how I feel about this, and that's why I'm saying all of this.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I don't want to move. I don't want to have to move countries. Yeah. Like, yeah.
Also, my cat's visiting us. This is Skunk. Say hi, Skunk. Meow. There she is. She's so cute. She literally came up and started biting me.
Hey.
But she's also the best cat ever to exist.
I don't even like cats. I don't like this cat.
Isn't she so great?
Yeah.
She's so social.
I used to have a cat and that bitch scratched me and then I never saw it again. I swear I didn't kill it. It just like ran away.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Mm.
Anyway, I almost feel like we had to talk about the shooting, so there it fucking is.
Oh yeah, the obligatory shooting talk. God.
That's almost so sad to say, but like, yeah, kind of.
I felt pretty affected by it, but I mean, there's so many.
I wouldn't know because I didn't check in on you, so I had no idea.
Yeah. As we clarified.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's so many. You know, it's a lot.
Anyway, Britney Spears. Obligatory, now also another obligatory talk, Britney Spears talk.
Love her.
Britney Spears recently got engaged. I think you may have heard about that.
Yeah.
I know you kind of live in a rock now. You're busy working and being an adult. But I'm still on Britney Spears TikTok and Twitter, so I heard about that the moment it came out. She got engaged, happy for her. Then she was having a baby, then she miscarried. So that fucking sucks.
Yeah.
But
that's a very big topic right now.
it is, but I'm sure that's fucking cat. But I'm sure that I don't know, they'll try again, or she'll figure it out. She's got the time and the money, and I'm sure they'll figure it out.
I'm very hopeful for her.
Yeah.
Kourtney Kardashian also undergoing a lot of fertility stuff right now, trying to have a child with Travis Barker.
Yes, and I actually know about this because I watch the Kardashians on Hulu.
I do too.
Disney Plus if you're in Latin America. Isn't that weird?
Whoa. Disney Plus having the Kardashians?
I know. If you're in Latin America, you have to watch on Disney Plus, which makes me angry because Disney didn't want to do the Lizzie McGuire Disney Plus reboot because Hilary Duff wanted the things to be more adult, but they're fucking having the Kardashians on their service.
That is so dumb. Disney has needed to get on the same boat as Nick for a long time with things like that. Like iCarly, the reboot.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's like actually good.
Yeah.
Like it has a lot of like maybe one too many like this show is woke moments, but that's almost like par for the course because it's mostly written by Francesca Ramsey. Yeah. But for the most part, it's good.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't love it, but I liked the angle that they took. I liked that it was more adult, that it like felt familiar, but not the same.
Yeah, like Carly actually grew with her audience.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you imagine if she was still doing like slime time dance?
Dude.
And, like imagine Jenna McCurdy actually agreed to it. I'm glad she did it.
Oh yeah.
She didn't want to. It's fine.
Jenna McCurdy's really interesting. She's just been terrorized. Did you see her Eric Andre interview?
No, but I did see that she recently released a book called like I Hate My Fucking Mom or My Mom Died or something. Did you see that?
Oh no.
No. I hate
I
fucking hate my mom.
personally wrote that movie. I released it.
She wrote a book called something. It was something controversial. I remember because it was trending on Twitter.
About her mom
and it was about her mom.
or dead.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
no, I wrote that book, Andre. You really haven't been checking in on me. Jesus
That's a good
Christ.
point. Yeah, I'm gonna do that more often. We literally have not talked since we last recorded, and
Yeah.
that was October of last year. So.
Yeah, that was a dead mom joke, everyone. My mom is dead.
Yeah. Well, full disclosure. I mean, episode 101. It was about time, I think.
Yeah. It's hard to lose your mom when you're 15, but.
Yes. Also, literally not a joke. That's when it happened. Holy shit!
Well, I was 17.
Yeah. No. I was like, yeah. There's no way you were 15, but still, damn. And this is the fucking segue you want to get into.
Speaking of dead people.
Speaking of dead people.
We'll be talking about hot takes.
Listen, I'm giving you my condolences, okay? Stop taking so much from me, okay? I've already said sorry, your mom died, whatever.
I'm sorry, I know secondhand trauma is a thing, Andre. I should be more considerate.
You really should. It's affecting me. Okay. I want to touch on this fun thing that's happening. Ooh, have you heard about the Johnny Depp and Amber?
Oh, have I heard about that?
Have you heard about that?
I think I've heard about that but against my
Absolutely.
will. It comes up every fucking way.
That's like the joke about like what is it, MGK and Jennifer?
Oh my God, yeah.
Fuck Jennifer.
Megan,
Megan Fox.
yeah.
Yeah. People say that a lot about. And I think they learn about their relationship. Yeah, that they learned it against their will, and I completely agree. Recently, I heard about what was it? They like someone puked in each other's mouth or blood or something, some bodily fluid.
Love that.
Yeah. Wait, what was the other
They're so
thing?
hot though.
Well, actually, yes.
He's very much my type.
Megan Fox is hot, and MGK is your type. And actually, I would say like, oh, MGK, I don't like him. But recently, I actually tweeted on our Twitter, and I don't think you saw this because you don't check in on me, you bitch. Actually, I think I can just show you the tweet. But it was something along the lines of, Machine Gun Kelly is kind of hot, and I don't like that. I think that. Yeah, that was the tweet.
That's really funny.
Yeah, so for all of you guys that were thinking that was Sunny tweeting that, it was not.
No, I do like that. But I also don't like his personality. I just think his look, the fact that he's pretty stylish.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever really seen an interview with
Here's the
him.
thing. I'm in like the top 1%, like first percentile of width of feet. My feet are really fucking wide. They're also nearly flat. Like they have nearly no arch. So what I'm saying is that MGK with a foot fetish could never happen. I could never satisfy him. My feet are actually ugly, flat troll feet.
Wow. Wait, does he have one? Do you know?
Yes. He talks about it in interviews.
Really?
Yeah. He has a foot
Have you seen this New York Times article titled "We Should All Know Less About Each Other"?
No, I love knowing about his foot fetish because that's the closure.
This fucking cat just got on the table and started drinking my water from my water cup. Okay,
She did it
bitch.
so quickly. There
Treat
was no
yourself.
chance to stop.
That's cute. Anyway, yeah, MGK hot, but your troll feet will never satisfy him. I'm very sorry for your loss.
It's okay, I formally give him up to Megan Fox right now. You go for it, girl.
I'm sure you have a lot of other celebrity crushes. You'll be okay. I know I have 10, like at least 10,000. So
Plus, I'm my own celebrity crush at this point.
at this point, I mean, soon maybe you become a writer. Maybe you'll be a celebrity. You know all the good writing celebrities like J.K. Rowling, very liked and popular. Kind of like that.
Well, 5 years ago.
Well,
She no longer
that was
exists.
kind
We
of
all know
dope.
that, right?
But yeah. Turfy Rowling. That's wild. It's crazy. She wrote the most successful, like, or something close to that, fucking, like, book series of all time. And then she was like, I need to turf out. And now people hate her. Like, was it really worth it? That's so wild to me. Like, not only was she rich, but also liked by, like, all the fucking children in the world. That's wild.
Yeah.
Interesting. Like, this was what crossed the line for her.
Yeah.
It's so funny to me.
Anyway.
Anyway,
To die on.
I guess we all have one. And mine is checking in on you. So.
Same joke. Shut the fuck up.
Okay.
I can't do this. We need to end this podcast right now.
Okay, hey, something else to touch on. which is kind of, I should have put this before the Johnny Depp thing, but I guess we haven't really talked about Johnny Depp, so I'll sprinkle it in. Ray Liotta died. Did you hear about this?
Ray Liotta?
Yes, from Goodfellas, and like he wasn't that. This
You're
bitch is like,
exposing
who
me.
is that?
I have
Oh,
no
she is
idea.
15. We forget, so unless you forget.
I'm
So.
actually Gen Z. Okay?
Yeah. Well,
Your millennial ass would not understand.
yeah, that's fair. Popular actor. Was in a show with J Lo, which is mostly how I know about him because I'm young.
You're just a J-Lo fan.
I'm just a J Lo fan. You know J Lo, the young, hop, hip celebrity. But anyway, he did. Okay, well I guess this is a dud. So back to Johnny Depp. Crazy. Wild thoughts.
The thing is, everyone wants to weigh in. At the end of the day, we weren't in the room. And also, if you really want to weigh in, there are recordings out there that have like hours of their conversations. If I were to listen to all those recordings, then maybe I'd weigh in. But I really just do not have that much to say because I don't want to say.
Well, good for you. I have not hours, but a good portion of them because I got really into it at the beginning. Not anymore. I don't really like watch the court case itself. I like watch the like videos of the audio recordings more so when the trial was barely starting. That's what I was into. But I hate to be the person. I really hate it, but I think it's true. It was both.
Yeah.
They both fucking suck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you really want to be like it was this one. They really fucked it. Abuser and I think they both kind of abuse each other.
Yeah.
Honestly, just listening to the fucking recordings.
That's the sense that I got because at least blows were exchanged by both.
Like
So-
Amber Heard sounds like a
initiator.
sounds like a psychotic woman and like an initiator, but also like someone but it also sounds like Johnny Depp knew that quality about her and didn't mind pushing it when it served him. Like, oh, I know she gets triggered by this and gets really psychotic when I do X or Y, but like I'm gonna use this to my advantage somehow. But like because I'm not the one that like is gonna sound psychotic on the tape, like that will paint me in a good light. That's really the sense that I got. I don't know if like I'm projecting something here, but
No,
yeah.
she does have a diagnosis with what is it? Not bipolar. It's a borderline personality disorder, I think.
Okay, well that ties a lot of knots. But yeah, like it feels like Johnny Depp's abuse was like more like I don't know what the word is, calculated or hidden or not so like in your face. So that's why I feel like most people are like Amber Heard is like a fucking asshole bitch because the things that like little things that Johnny Depp would do to push her that he knew like pushed her buttons aren't as like in your fucking face as like what she did about shitting on his bed or something like that. That's what I think.
Yeah, I feel like I would agree.
Listen to some of them; they're like kind of interesting.
I have listened to a few minutes here or there. I just really don't. Yeah, because I've seen so many people weigh in on this at this point on both sides, saying it's really him, it's really her, blah blah blah, and I just don't care to weigh in anymore. I feel like it's like the Will Smith slap all over again. It's like at the end of the day, it's between those two people.
Isn't it interesting how like there are some things that like happen and you're like, oh my god, it's so clear what's going on here, and then you hear more opinions and it's like, oh, it's actually less clear.
Yeah, like the Will Smith slap, like there was previous beef. Like Chris Rock had made jokes about Jada previously. And Will Smith brought it up. So there's like a whole background. It's
Well,
like this
for me,
thing.
that wasn't what out of the nuance. For me, it was more so that like to me, it's like physical violence. No, you've crossed the line. You're obviously in the wrong, and I personally still believe that. But the nuance that was added to me
Was
for
there
me.
alopecia?
No, was that like was that a lot of people on like Black Twitter were commenting on it and being like, you guys don't understand that like within Black communities, words are violence, especially when they're targeting like when you're pushing a button that you know you're pushing and you know you're doing it well. It's like you deserve to get slapped and. I mean...
I would agree with that in general, which is why I was pretty understanding. Not that I'm glad that they gave him like a ban and there's like a punishment, but I don't think.
Listen.
To me, it doesn't feel like some insane thing.
What I just said to me added nuance in the sense of like, okay, I understand why everyone doesn't agree with me, but personally, I still hold the belief that Will Smith was in the wrong because even though a lot of people are saying like this kind of behavior makes sense and it's part of my culture, well, bitch, I'm sorry, it's not part of my culture. I personally don't get it. I think it's stupid, but I'm sure people would say some similar things about my culture. I don't know.
Probably.
We never
I
loved.
think they were both in the wrong. That's definitely my take.
I mean,
Especially because Jada was very open about like how tough alopecia was
just-
for her and her whole experience with it. Like I agree at that point. Like when you know someone has literally made like blogs about how tough something is, and you're like,
No,
LOL about
it doesn't
this
excuse
thing.
physical
I
violence.
don't think it excuses physical violence. I think they're both in the wrong. I don't think Will Smith was like in the right for punching him, but I do think that Chris Rock was verbally violent before that.
Well, but unlike the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp thing, I don't want to equalize this because I think it's dangerous to be like they're both. I mean, if you want to say they're both in the wrong, but Will Smith was more in the wrong, I can agree with that. But if you want to say they're both equally in the wrong, I can't get behind that because I think that's dangerous and it normalizes physical violence because of verbal violence. And I think those are so fucking different.
Doesn't saying they're way different normalize verbal violence though?
Doesn't normalize it. It normalizes the notion that it is less serious than physical violence, which I wholeheartedly agree with.
I guess that's the central thing.
Well, and a lot of people in that community don't agree with that. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, listen, I've seen like Ricky Gervais host a number of fucking celebrity events, and he goes fucking hard on people, and it's like, brother, like nothing is excused. Like he makes jokes about people that are like really kind of shitty, but it's also supposed to be in good fun. And if you're gonna attend, you kind of like know that you might have to take a joke or two about yourself, and that's just my take on it.
Okay.
In comparison to him specifically, like fucking Chris Rock's tame ass joke wasn't even that like harsh. It was just wild to me. But like you said, it's probably because of previous beef. Anyway, I'm glad we covered this topic from 2 months ago. Very relevant.
God, and I promised myself I would like never say anything about it because I thought it was so dumb that everyone was weighing in. But here we are.
Well,
There's
we're
no
allowed to because we waited. We waited 2 months, so now we're allowed to.
Yeah.
There's less voices in the can now. We're allowed to add some. Anyway, today we're talking about.
Emergency broadcast
test alerts
Yeah.
and systems. Yes. This is super random and very niche, even when it comes to horror. But
They are scary.
I thought it was fucking scary.
Will we like insert some audio here to show what they?
Yes,
like?
So I actually thought about that. I was going to tell you about that. I'm going to insert some audio in a second, but video is way better. So this is not a video podcast, obviously. You guys, if you want to know more about what we're talking about, if you don't already know, just go to YouTube and search emergency broadcast test alert, and you'll find real ones. You also find fake ones, which some of them are like the creepiest to me. They're really well made, especially some by Channel 51, I believe. I'll show them to you later, Sunny. But here's some audio of what it sounds like.
We interrupt this program. This is a national emergency. Important instructions will follow. The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government. This is not a test. A nuclear attack was commenced against the United States. 15 nuclear bombs have detonated in several areas across the country. They include Baltimore, Boston, Chicago, Denver, Detroit, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, New York, Pennsylvania, Portland, Maine, Portland, Oregon, San Francisco, San Diego, Seattle, and Washington, D.C. At this time, all residents within a 400-mile radius of these areas should seek a fallout shelter. Fallout is a product of nuclear attacks. Prolonged exposure to fallout will result in certain death. If there is a nearby location that has been designated as a fallout shelter, go there now. Otherwise, seek shelter in the interior part of a strong building on the lowest floor. Make sure you have food, water, and a battery-powered radio with you. Do not exit the fallout shelter until the all-clear has been given. Tune to a station that is serving your area for more information. The President will be speaking on all stations shortly. Stand by for this message. This is an emergency action notification. All broadcast and cable systems shall transmit this emergency action notification message. This station has interrupted its regular program at the request of the White House to participate in the emergency alert system. During this emergency, most stations will remain on the air, providing news and information to the public in assigned areas. This is WPIX. We will continue to serve the New York City area. If you are not in this local area, you should tune to stations providing news and information for your local area. You are listening to the emergency alert system serving the New York City area. Do not use your telephone. The telephone lines should be kept open for emergency use. The emergency alert system has been activated.
Great. Okay, it's always so awkward. Like, even in person, it's even worse. Here's the audio, and then Sunny and I just stare at each other. Okay, great. That was the audio. But yeah, I just thought they're fucking creepy. This is the horror rabbit hole that I've been into lately, and I presented it to you. You agreed to do this. I just thought like
At
gunpoint. If we're gonna at gunpoint, yeah. Well, also
terrorizing people at home too.
I was like, we're gonna do another episode. I want to talk about something that I actually find scary at the moment, and I had to rattle my brain because I was like, aliens. That's 2018. Like ghosts. What is this? The Victorian times? Hello. Like anyway, this which is so weird because it isn't something paranormal or supernatural but it's still scary.
And that's the thing. I was thinking about this because a lot of the good scary stories that we've read have a similar element. There's some kind of message, right? A lot of scary stories start off with like, here's a note, here's like an announcement, like here is something, and it's very like mysterious and something's a little off, or like the instructions give you the feeling that something's very wrong.
Yes.
But yeah, that general vibe of like warning already kind of sets off your body to be like, what's going on?
So this is just like that, but without the rest of the story, basically.
Yeah.
And sometimes that makes it even scary because you have no fucking idea what happens, and your mind can take you a number of places. I know when I hear like legit, when I hear an emergency broadcast test, I know I've heard like one real life, and most of them have been like on YouTube. It's just, even if I've heard of 5 already in a row, the 6th one will still like give me like chills. I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's just like it's a loud beep, beep. This is just a test. This is a drill. This is a test of an emergency alert system.
This episode's gonna be hell to edit because you're gonna have to like tune down all of your audio.
Bitch, I beep loud, okay? Here, let's just move this mic a little bit. let's move the mic a little bit. No, you're right. Yeah, you're right. I'm not. So you should have the mic on your side. I'll just scream from here.
Now. Okay. Like look at that audio bar for you.
You need to start screaming. Listen, okay, raise your voice.
I know how to raise my voice. We literally did mock trial together.
Pink said raise your glass. I say raise your voice.
And I say raise your ass.
Vodka up the ass. You ever tried that?
What, fucking up the ass?
Vodka up the ass.
Vodka up the ass.
This is actually not a joke.
What's
like,
the appeal to that?
It was a thing like frat boy culture a couple years ago. Oh, the appeal to that is that you get drunk way faster because the rectum has like it absorbs super fucking fast, even faster than the stomach. It's like minutes.
And you get to do something a little homoerotic.
You get to do something a little homoerotic, which guys love. Oh, yes. Absolutely.
Like,
yes. They'll put the vodka up their ass, and they will like start sniffing their buddy's balls and be like, it's no homo.
No,
I'm not licking
them.
them.
They'll like moan a little when they hit their G-spot.
Yes.
And then they'll be like,
yes.
wow, what an enjoyable heterosexual experience.
Straight men be like, I sucked your dick and made you come, but it's not homo because like I didn't like tickle your taint or something like that. It's literally that. Straight men are wild.
The thing is, those are not straight men. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a good point.
Yeah. Men with internalized homophobia are wild, but that's all men. That's all people.
Yeah. It is. Even me.
Men
I'm gay.
Their internalized homophobia.
Wow. But to be fair, I only got internalized homophobia because those fuckers gave it to me.
Yeah, and I only got internalized homophobia because I grew up in a religious household. So.
Good point. I always forget. You're bi.
Oh yeah.
You.
I was thinking about that recently.
You know what? I believe in bi erasure.
Let's talk about it.
Can I just say something controversial, you're brave.
Wait, I really have been thinking about this. You know why, Andre? I've just been thinking about, because I'm about to write this novel, guys. I'm going to write something.
I just heard.
Yes. He read a paragraph, and it was excellent.
Yes.
And I was going to think about, like, how do I think about women? Like, when I'm...
Shit in the first paragraph, by the way, which is very on brand for Sunny.
And I was thinking about how I would describe people in my life when I was writing, and I was like, wow, I sound so fucking gay. It's like, I sound really gay if I just, like, write out my thoughts about women. But at the same time, all the time, I'm like, am I not really bisexual? Am I just, like, coming up with it to be quirky?
Have you ever thought about, like, sucking a pussy?
I thought about sucking a pussy, yeah.
And, like, it's turned you on? Or have you ever done something with a
Honestly,
woman?
that's not, like, the peak of my fantasy.
Well, I mean, do you have anything sexual in your mind with a woman that you're like, I find that hot?
Yeah.
Okay, you're bi. Like, I don't have anything with a woman in my mind at all that I could think of to turn myself on. There's nothing. So that's how I know I'm
That is
gay.
insane.
Yeah.
Well, all of my fears have just been erased. Thanks, Andre. Thanks, doctor.
It really is. I mean, I'm sure there's gonna be some fucking, like, someone on Twitter that'll be like, well, technically. But, like, I really think it's that simple. Like, I was 7 years old, and, like, my pee-pee went, ooh, for the first time in my life, because a boy, like, gave me a hug or something, and I was like, I'm gay. It really is just that. Like, it's that simple.
Absolutely.
And I know, like, labels are not very in right now. It's not the trend of the season, hunty. But, labels are fucking useful. Don't tell it to the Gen Zs, but it's true. They're very useful.
I'm Gen Z, and I have to say they are useless pieces of shit.
Really?
I
Elaborate.
don't have any strong opinions on that. I think labels are fine. If you want to use a label, use a label. Just if you don't want to, you don't have to.
I don't know, maybe I'm just thinking about this in a dating sense, but I think they're useful and, what's the word? They're like helpful heuristics. It's very like, it's giving shorthand vibe energy. It's like, okay, I know what box to
But
put
that's
you.
the thing. Are they helpful heuristics, or are they just giving you some kind of image of someone
Again, maybe this is
that
like
might not be accurate?
inner boomer in me, but like, they're helpful, and also, even if they gave me a previous image, at least in my experience, it matches. Like, like, listen, I'm sorry to burst the bubble, but like, stereotypes come from somewhere, you guys. They're not just made up out of thin air. And yes, they don't apply to everyone, but I feel like we have, as a society, lost the ability to take something useful out of stereotypes. I mean, we already have to fucking learn them and have them instilled by us by society and our parents and shit, so we might as well get some use out of them. The use that I get is I will hear something about a person and think of the stereotype of what that looks like and go in with that, but just like keep it very, very light. Because that way I'm not like judging them and I'm like, oh, I already know what you are just because I heard your X thing. But, I also don't want to go in completely blind with a person. I don't like that. It gives me nothing to work off of. Maybe it's like the inner to me and me. I always have to have material when I first meet someone, but I do not like going blind into anything.
Interesting.
And a label helps me.
Well, love that for you.
And listen, I won't lie. These hips, they don't lie. And I will tell you this. We were just talking about how you have more masculine energy than I do, and then you reminded me just now that you're, again, I don't check in on Sunny. I know nothing about her. That you're bi, and I was like, see, like, yes, dick and cock. You like it. But you also have a little bit of lesbian in you. And listen, bitch, every lesbian I've known intimidates me. So, but like in a good way. I'm like friends with them. No, because you're not full, but it's like the same feeling, but like 50%. And that's what you have masculine energy. You like dominate me. I totally get it.
You know, I do have to say, I actually, we had a gay friend in college.
Yes.
And we had this other friend, Orion, who said, oh my god, I wasn't supposed to say your name. Let's bleep that out.
Emergency alert broadcast test, you guys. This is not a drill.
We had this friend who said she was bisexual, and this gay friend was like, no, she's doing it for attention. And then I was like, oh, how about me? And he was like, no, Sunny, like, you give off the vibes. I was like, whoa, okay.
Listen, I wouldn't have thought that when we were in high school together. She was a freshman and I was a senior, obviously.
Excuse me?
No, I wouldn't have thought that when we were in high school together, but it's probably because not even you yourself knew that about yourself.
Yeah.
So I feel like you have to know it to like exhibit it. I don't know. But I certainly feel that now. Yes.
Really? Wow, I've gotten gayer vibes.
I've also seen you in person for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
So in person
And the
even more
vibes
so.
are especially gay
Absolutely.
today.
Oh, this crop top? Are you kidding me? It's power. It's giving power. Fists, like arms with fists on my hips, power. Yeah.
Wow, love that for me.
But I also love this for you. This is the style for you. This is good.
Oh, I look amazing.
I guess in high school you were giving like Zoe Deschanel, like carbon copy, quirky girl, like I like Bjork or whatever. This is good.
This is giving I listen to Mitski now.
This fits you. You listen to Mitski now.
Yes.
Who's Bjorn? What?
Thank you.
Anyway.
My two favorite mixed race artists. Just kidding. Bjork looks so like she'd be happy, but she's not.
I know, isn't that wild?
Yeah.
But like, yeah, Icelandic people they look weird. I know.
Really fucking
Fuck
weird.
them.
I'm trying, Andre.
I mean, I fucking
Bjork,
Icelandic.
hit me up.
Okay,
We'll make sure this gets to people.
But before she responded, imagine if like she actually damned me back. She was like, I will go on dates with you, but first I have rhythm. Like, she's so quirky. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Dude, people who are naturally that quirky, I don't like. I'm like, I need you to be a little more self-conscious. I
I
need
know.
you to be a little bit more conformist than you are.
It's like I believe that Bjork is actually like how she presents herself,
I don't think she's trying to, but it still annoys
and
me.
that's wild to me. Because I'm like, how have you gone through the world and
Yeah, just existed that
I
way.
know. I think people like us make the mistake of thinking like, oh, she must not be very self-aware at all. Maybe
No, she
she
probably knows
is.
she's making these choices.
Maybe she sees like her quirkiness as like a rebellion against like the cynicism of the world or something.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, she never really has made the choice to, like,
Yeah,
be who
I
she
mean,
is.
bitch,
I'm
at 50 you can't be this quirky and not be aware of it. Like,
I'm just saying I disagree with that.
I disagree with that choice. Yeah.
No, I'm really glad she's doing it as a celebrity. I guess it's like, I feel like it'd be annoying to be friends with someone like that, honestly. So, anyone who anyone who in casual conversation will be like, what an interesting liminal space this person's on.
Listen.
Like take me to an art museum and actually talk about every piece that we see. I'm like, you are annoying.
I will barf a little bit in my mouth and
Yeah.
eat it back. Like, ew.
Like I would rather you say dick and cock to me just on repeat on a loop
Than
go to
me
an art
being
museum.
like, obviously being like, this space really suspense in the air, sort of like a liminal feeling. I don't know quite how to explain it, but it really
Yes.
resonates with
Yes.
kind of the core of the area, and the time period is really. Oh my fucking god! Shut the fuck up. I've met people like that. I have met people like that.
Oh,
it's
absolutely
wild.
can't go through university without it.
It's wild, and it's not just art majors. Do you think that's what it sounds like? It's just some people are just like that.
Yeah.
Well, or they pretend to be like that. I don't know which
Yeah.
one it is, but who's friends with them?
Other people who are like that, I think. I think there are people who genuinely enjoy like being intellectual together. And I mean, sometimes, yeah, if it's a topic I'm interested in, like,
No, that's not true. That's not true. I mean, in all seriousnly, there's some
Yeah.
shit you and I have talked about that's
Yeah.
very like, ooh.
We talk about serious stuff too.
But
I think it has to be like funny. It has to be like,
it has to have. We're all gonna die one day. My
Yeah.
motto's always like laugh about
Yeah.
whatever you're talking about at least a little bit, because fuck.
yeah.
And maybe it's just a coping mechanism, but it works
No,
for
I
me.
completely agree.
And I feel also like not just me, like it makes if something serious specifically, if it's something serious, it makes people around me more comfortable.
Yeah.
And I don't want to make people feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So
I agree. I think we both have very strong energy of adapting, being grateful, and just moving forward no matter what, and laughing at everything. I think that's a very strong like base value for both of us. I think that's
Those
part
are
of why we get along.
very good things, but I wonder if the reason we're so good at adapting comes actually from like some trauma or something. Like I won't be accepted into this in-group unless I mold myself to their standards. So yeah, I mean, useful quality. I don't know if it's like ethically good.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm like on a philosophical level, questionable, sure.
Yeah.
But in terms of like making like day-to-day functionality and happiness, I think that we are doing better than the average person.
I think so
Honestly,
too.
Honestly.
I don't even if that's not true, I think it is true. But I would more specifically say that I think we are more resilient
Yeah.
than whatever the average person means, than the
I
average
completely
person.
agree. Especially than the average wealthy white intellectual person who uses the word liminal seriously. I think that we could recover from a lot more shit than them, honestly.
I agree. I mean, and I think I even have some experience with it. It's not just an assumption.
No,
I think I have
they
some
like
evidence.
hear about the shit their ancestors have done and they crumble. They
Yeah.
cry. I've seen it in
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
It's like, bitch, what? Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
They're so fragile.
Wow, we're so good, cool, hot and fly, and better than everyone else.
This is like very deep superiority complex. I'm so sorry, everyone who had to listen to that.
Listen, I have one too, so we're gonna shake hands under the table and then just move on.
Exactly.
That's
Let's
it.
shake hands. Andre and I know that we're better than everyone else. Now we've agreed on that.
We wouldn't have come together otherwise. Listen.
We do come together.
Listen. We also
Often.
come together often.
Yes.
Yeah. We won't talk about that, but it's true.
Yeah. See two fruits? Make a vegetable.
But yeah, it's true. Listen, we're so good, and that's why we came together in high school. We are the dolls.
Yes.
It's true, dolls. Look, Trixie Mattel said it best. Someone told her that at this point the dolls are the dolls, and if you're not a doll, you don't get it. We're the dolls.
Yes, we are.
And some people just aren't, and they don't get it, but they're not.
And it's okay.
And it's okay. You don't
okay.
have to be.
We're
a
not
doll.
saying that we're superior. We're just saying
The dolls are the dolls at this point. That's what we're saying.
I saw the craziest TikTok. Us joking about bumping uglies made me think about this. Where it was a gay man who was like, I just made out with this really hot guy at the club and realized at the end of the night, like we were getting along so well, I was like, what's this gonna be? Realized at the end of the night that it was a lesbian woman who thought that I was also a lesbian.
Oh, it's so
Yeah.
interesting.
Isn't that insane? They both went so fruit, they went full circle. Like
The-
this horseshoe theory.
The lesbian scarcity is affecting people. Holy shit. Well, I mean, which is a real thing. Let's be honest. And I'm not that much. Like, I mean, I'm not that much better. Like gays. I mean, just by the very fact that we're like some small percentage of the population. Wow, they're really trying anything they can now.
I once hosted someone for this like queer event at the university. It was this gay guy who was talking about. Sorry, I said gay quietly. I don't like talking about those things. He was talking about he had a relationship for several months with a dyke woman. He was like, there's just something about the energies that matched up.
Well, obviously, it's just that. I mean, listen. If the dyke woman could have a dick, Well, I guess, yeah.
That's what they use.
Because yeah, like people, yeah. And listen, I'm a true believer. Like this sounds so fucking like Generation X specifically, not Boomer. Like my parents' generation. Like in masculine and feminine energy, not really man and woman, but like masculine and feminine energy. I feel like that's kind of a universal. Like you see any couple, no matter what they have down there, they both have both energies, but there's always one person with a higher balance of one of the energies, and same for the other person with the opposite energy. I feel like that's universal. I see it everywhere. I've never not seen it in a couple. That's what I can tell you.
It's super interesting.
I mean, I see it in
So
my own
if
couple.
I were 100% lesbian, masculine vibes,
Well, I
we
mean,
could've
there's.
done a thing.
I mean, that's.
We could've done
I think so. I mean, I have a dildo. We could put a little.
I know. I could get more ripped.
But it's interesting because like there's 100% lesbians that aren't butch.
Yeah.
Like
Totally. Yeah.
Like I know a lesbian couple, and one of them is very much butch, and the other one isn't. And I'm pretty sure she is just lesbian. She's not like bi or anything, and she's more like femme.
That's the thing. Sexuality doesn't necessarily correlate with like gender representation. You know?
Yes, but my theory does stand for that. Again, another example. Like she's very butch, the other is very femme. And I'm not saying that's how lesbian couples should be. Please, no one cancel me. But I'm saying that that's what I see in the real world all the time.
Yeah.
Listen, I can say this controversially brave because I've seen it, and also I know it, and I'm gay. And, like, you ever seen two bottoms together? It doesn't work. And I'm not even talking sexually. Bottom is a lifestyle. It's an energy, and it's true. It's true. I experienced this once. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's wild. Yeah.
I that. You know, I think about that with, I date a lot of soft boys, right? I date a lot of soft boys who have this certain energy that I'm attracted to. I think that they're somewhat similar to one another, although not the same person, luckily.
Yes.
And when we get to the bedroom, they're always hardcore doms. And I love that. And I'm like, some part of me knew that underneath the soft facade, this was the energy.
Yes.
And some part of me read that. And it always works out that way. And the guys where it doesn't work out that way, we don't have sexual chemistry, and I can feel that from the beginning too.
But here's why, this is why I said like bottom or top aren't just sexual positions. Like I really mean like the energy of it all, which I guess correlates to the masculine and feminine thing. I know this is very heteronormative. You guys will have to apologize. You guys will have to pardon me. You guys have to apologize for my comments. But the reason you can like. Let's just get canceled for 101st episode, shall we? The reason you can get with these soft boys and like it totally works for you, regardless of sex, completely separate from that, is because, look, I mean, have you met you? Your energy, you are overbearing in the best way. You're me.
Oh yeah.
I would say the same thing about myself.
Yeah.
You can drive the situation, you can drive the conversation, you can make decisions, the other person is okay with that because they're less like high energy than you, it works. And that's your soft boys.
It's so true. That's the thing though. It's like we have that dynamic outside the bedroom always. I love making fun of these boys. It's like so enjoyable.
Yes.
Yeah, you're 100% right. And like I'm driving situations and it's great. And then it's crazy because in the bedroom it always flips, and that like works for both of us.
Yes.
And I would say that's the dynamic I've had a few times now. Yeah.
I guess, I mean, you don't even really have to use the terms masculine and feminine. Maybe some other terms that haven't been invented, I don't know, like type A, type B. That doesn't really encompass it all, though. But that's what I mean. Because like, I don't want to be like, oh yeah, being high energy is a masculine energy. And being like a soft boy is like femme energy. Because that doesn't really apply across the board. But do you guys not agree, everyone fucking listening, that like, bitch, the yin and yang cliche. It's true!
Yeah.
It's true!
No, and that's the thing too, like these guys that I date have like a, I don't want to say feminine energy, but they like will have longer hair and like dress really well, and like there is, yeah, when I say soft, like there's something feminine about it that I think is attractive to me. It's just crazy though, because that doesn't correspond with them being like submissive in the bedroom. Like that's not necessarily.
Yeah, it doesn't have to, but what it does have to correspond with is like it has to be some kind of opposite energy.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's our episode.
We're 44 minutes in. What the fuck is this?
This is us not talking for a long time. Again, I'm checking on Sunny.
Yeah.
This is us not talking for a long time. That's what happens.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, this is more interesting than Siren Head. I'll still read a story or two, but everything we said, I think is very on point. I think we're really onto something.
I think we're geniuses.
I think we're so smart and better than everybody else.
I completely agree.
Have you thought about that?
We did in fact think about this 10 minutes ago and agree on it. But okay, regardless of whether it's better or not, I do think I absolutely was on point with saying that we have similar resilient energies. I think that's like a very core thing of both of us.
Yes, and I think a lot of people find that very attractive. And
Yeah.
I know this for a fact. That sounds so like self-serving, but it's true.
Yeah, that's why we're both hot.
I think so. The older I get, when I was a teenager, just like a hot face was all I cared about. Now is still all I care about, but also confidence. Very important. And I don't mean like oh, I'm Leo DiCaprio in like Wolf of Wall Street confidence, or like very high energy type A confidence like me. It's more so like wholeness for integrity. Like I want to be able to poke you and not see like holes. I mean, I want to see hole, but not like holes. You know what I mean? Obviously. But
that's what we should do for our 102nd episode.
Yeah. I would say that's what I mean when I say confidence. I want to see you as someone who's solid, because that's how I see myself, and that's how I try to keep myself as I get older, to keep myself integral. And when I see someone who's not like that, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't find them attractive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I think having values is really attractive. But sometimes when a guy just has the right energy, I find him really hot no matter what. And that's how I end up dating these guys whose values I don't agree with.
Yeah, but I feel like that's like because you let like the lust become like you let yourself think that it's more substantial than just lust, and it isn't.
No, there's like something there.
Because I've met guys with the right energy, and I'm like, holy fucking shit, they're so attractive. But then I actually sit down and think like, okay, but do I want to like date them long term? And like wanting to fuck someone and date them long term are two different lists. Check
What
marks.
is what I like will want? Well, we would take up the rest of the episode if I talk about this, but it's a whole combination of things. Because it's like, I've just fallen in love with and like adored people who I also know I don't necessarily like that much. I think that's like a crazy combo, but it is possible.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. We'll do a little spooky section here. We already did the intro. I actually do find these emergency podcasts as terrifying. I recently watched a video about a guy talking
After
about
30-minute sidebar.
whatever.
Okay.
That is the episode. It's just a little section.
Yes.
I'm changing the title of the podcast, by the way.
Yes.
You can't be scared to talk anymore. So if you have any suggestions. But I watched this video recently by this Canadian YouTuber. I don't remember his name. The video was called like, "Why do middle class people have a fear of authority?" or something like that. And basically, he talks about emergency broadcast test alerts and plays some, and even just him playing them just to contextualize creeped me out. But he talks about the reason we find these things scary is because they, and I totally agree, they make us feel like the world around us is ending, and that is so like such a deeply rooted fear for like the middle class mentality of like, oh, everything is fine as long as I put my trust in the government and I behave like a good citizen. I'm an upstanding Samaritan. Like, it's like, no, the system around you has failed you regardless. Here you are, like, a nuke is coming, or the Russians are invading, or whatever. And also the fact that the sounds in the videos are so fucking jarring because they're meant to grab your attention because there's an emergency happening.
Mm-hmm.
So those two things are why he posited we find these things so scary, and I completely agree.
Very interesting, getting into class anxieties there.
Yeah, isn't that wild? Like, that was when I just have like the superficial feeling of fear when I hear one of these things, the last thing I would think of was like, oh, the reason I feel that is because of class anxiety.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's true.
Interesting.
It's almost, I wonder if like if I was born a rich kid, like I would still be scared of these things, because I'd probably be like, I can just fly my helicopter somewhere. My daddy's helicopter to like Canada or something, and not get nuked. But yeah. I think he's onto something because when I think about it, I'm like, okay, what would actually scare me if I listened to this in real life? I'm at home watching TV, this comes on all of a sudden, which like, how would it if I'm watching Netflix? It's not cable. But maybe I'd get a text or something. But how would I feel? I would feel scared. And then I ask myself, why would I feel scared? Because I have nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Would I have
You
somewhere to
no
go if I was a
control over the
millionaire?
situation
Yeah, probably.
anymore. Yeah. And I wonder, like, you know, if you're already not at a livable wage, does it matter that much if things go wrong?
I think it's a different kind of topic, and it's almost like the nihilism of a lot of people who are like, I'm poor, I just want to die, which is like kind of relatable.
I
But
also am poor and just want to die. Just kidding, I'm kind of middle class now.
yeah, but thankfully, like, I'm not poor and I'm middle class and I don't want to die. I actually want to live, and so that actually would scare me. It wouldn't be like, oh, sweet relief, death. Yeah, it would be like, holy fuck, no, I want to live. I'm too young, hot, cool, and fly.
You wish.
Well, we just said we are. So anyway, Sunny, give us a little bit of background on, like, I don't know, something about the emergency broadcast test, like where they were invented or something.
Yes, I have a time range here. They were used, there's one specific one that Andre sent me, and it's EBS, Emergency Broadcast System, also known as EAN, Emergency Action Notification, for when it's like a national emergency broadcast. And it was used from 1963 to 1997, especially in the 70s and 80s, because it was the Cold War, and people were afraid of a nuclear bomb. So they put this in place so that they could give warning if a nuclear bomb was dropped. And it was used over 20,000 times.
How much can you do with a like warning for it?
Exactly. It was,
whatever.
it's like a false sense of security. It's crazy. There was a false alarm in 1971 that put it on hiatus for over a year, which is pretty
I
interesting.
mean, you want to talk about Hawaii? Because fuck, that's recent and relevant.
Yes.
Just your comments or thoughts or whatever on that, because that was fucking wild.
You first.
For everyone who doesn't know, was it 2017? Maybe it was not that long ago. But recently, in modern times, in Hawaii, there was an emergency alert text notification that was sent to all the residents in Hawaii that warned of an inbound missile that was going to hit the state of Hawaii. And it was 38 minutes before the same notification system sent a clarifying text message saying that the previous message was a false alarm. That is fucking wild! I would sue everything. I would sue the rocks. Listen.
Sue the ocean.
I would sue the ocean. Like, holy shit. Imagine you're in Hawaii. For a vacation, bitch. You're not even close to your family. Your family's back in California or something like that. For a vacation. You're on the beach in Hawaii, okay? And you get a fucking text message. You're like 2017, you're listening to Camila Cabello's Havana because you have no taste. You're on the beach, you're drinking a pina colada because you have no taste. And then you get a text notification that says, inbound missile to hit Hawaii. Seek shelter immediately. Bitch, wait, where? I'm not a worm. I can burrow myself in the sand. I'm a whole, like, 5'2" human. Like, I can't go anywhere. I live here. I'm not rich. I'm probably, I guess, the ocean, but I mean, I hate the ocean. I'm scared of sharks. So I don't think I'd rather die than the missile. That's wild. And not only that, you have to spend 38 minutes of agonizing fucking mental torture, thinking like about everything in your life you've done wrong, everything you haven't done, everyone you want to fuck, which is all I would think about. Just kidding, I love you, babe. But like 38 minutes is so long. Actually, this makes me angry. It makes me angry.
To think like you're scared for your life for that long, or like you're thinking these are the last few moments of your life.
Like, you will literally see your life ending as a missile comes in 38 or whatever. No, the original message didn't say how long the missile was gonna take to get there. So literally, like, it could be 10 minutes, it could be 30 seconds.
Like, I wonder if there are any like heart attacks or strokes within that.
Absolutely.
You know?
I'm certain of it.
Yeah.
That's fucking wild. And then it turns out it was some fucking like intern that like pushed the wrong button because, but like it wasn't even necessarily the intern's fault so much. Like the fact that one, they placed an intern to handle this or something like that, or someone who wasn't obviously trained well enough. And number two, I'm not sure if it was an intern, but like, and number two, the fact that the system is set up in a way that like there should be more safeguards to have to get to that. There should be more "Are you sure?" screens.
And there should have,
yeah. Are you sure? There should be some of those screens.
Yeah, and also there should have been a quicker follow up. Why did it take them that long?
Why did it take that long?
Yeah.
I don't know. I should have read more about it if we're talking about it, but like, it shouldn't take that long. I can't think of a good reason. 30 minutes is way too fucking long. I mean, anyway. So that's what happened in Hawaii. That's like a relevant modern example of what that looks like. It wasn't like a television broadcast, which are the ones I find really creepy. It was like a text notification. But that's even worse than creepy. It's like actually life-alteringly terrifying.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure these people have PTSD from that. There's no fucking way you don't.
Yeah.
Anyway. Sunny, would you like to briefly share with us a spooky story about emergency broadcast test alerts?
I would more than love to do that. I found a few. This is my favorite. I will say, with a lot of these stories, they end on kind of cliffhangers because they want to be like, here's part 2, and then you read part 2 and it's shit. Because they don't know how to continue the story. They just know how to get you to the cliffhanger. So that is this kind of story.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're not going to read the sequel. We're just going to read the interesting first part, and you're not going to get resolution to the story. Sorry, not
I
sorry.
can already tell your story starts with an actual emergency alert script. So while you're in, if you want, I can beep loud.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, go ahead and beep.
Okay.
Emergency alert. This is not a test. Immediate threat for residents of counties. Be wary of severe winds, lightning, severe rain, flash floods. Residents are advised to stay indoors. Please lock or bar all entryways into your house.
Let me beep loud enough, you guys.
Restrain from using any devices that emit light or loud noise. Please enter a room with no windows. Effective indefinitely. Issued by the National Weather Service.
If I got that on my phone, I would actually. I disagree with what I said earlier about like the Hawaii text must have not been creepy, just like terrifying, like in a different way. I think I would have found that creepy as well. But however, I do find this one more creepy, this fake one, because it says like cover all windows. That's so random.
Yeah.
And also, if I wasn't at a beach, I think that's why the setting is different. If I was just like at home,
Yeah.
and I got either of these texts, I would feel terrified, but also just creeped out. Like,
Yeah.
like,
Essentially, yeah.
eerie.
Yeah, this one's very unclear what's going on.
Yeah,
Like,
oh, that's why. That's why. I
This
think
one, you're
that's
like, what is going
why.
on?
Yeah. Oh, no.
So, this was the message I was greeted by in the middle of an episode of Big Bang Theory in my living room.
He deserves to die.
Yeah, okay, that's fucking comedian. Also, the username, now that we're talking about it, is the Crystal Gem. Thank you, the Crystal Gem. Frozen halfway through a forkful of Kraft mac and cheese. Red flag number 2. Who eats that with a fork?
Listen, it's your time.
I sat bolt upright and turned around to look out the window. The sky, as I thought, was crystal clear. A few clouds, but nothing crazy. No rain, no thunder, nothing. Confused, I turned off the TV, erasing the alert from the screen. My 2 dogs came walking over to me, and I patted them on their heads. One of my dogs, the other's brother, was shaking profusely from the buzzing noise that always shows up with Amber Alerts and the like. I left them in the living room and walked through my kitchen and onto my front porch. My neighbors, too, were standing outside their houses, all looking at the sky in amusement. An immediate threat? It didn't seem like it, I thought, as my phone started buzzing with the same tone. One by one, everyone else's phones started ringing. Beep, 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 beep,
Loud!
I should explain, I guess, that I've never experienced a severe weather warning for real. Not once in my life. I suppose it should come as no surprise, seeing as I live in Oregon of all places. I suppose maybe it was just a mistake. But just as the thought floated across my mind, I heard the siren. The siren of the squad car coming down the street. An officer talked through a speaker. This is not a drill. Please enter your homes immediately. Do not go outside under any circumstances. Never the kind of guy to ignore higher authorities, I entered my house nervously, turning off all the lights on the above ground floors and took my dogs into my basement with a sleeping bag, some food, my phone, a charger, some spare batteries, flashlight, and others.
No, he sure had time to get ready.
For real. I called my brother, who lives a couple blocks away, and asked if he'd gotten the message. He had. I considered saying we should stay together to wait out the storm, but then I figured we'd probably get in trouble. So I hung up, got comfortable in my sleeping bag, and started browsing Reddit. Eventually, I fell asleep, seeing as I was under stress and had woken up pretty early. When I woke up, I realized I still didn't hear any rain. Seriously, nothing at all. More confused than ever, I decided to see if the alert had been called off. I turned on my phone and called my brother again. It went straight to voicemail though, so I gave up. I decided to risk it and go upstairs. I had to squeeze between the door and the wall to keep my dogs from following me upstairs, but I won and they stayed in the basement. I walked through my kitchen to the front door and looked out the window part of it. As I squinted to see outside in the dark, strange, seeing as it was only 2 p.m., judging by my clock, the TV flickered briefly. I looked around at it and it flickered again, but this time every device on the ground floor flickered. Thinking little of it, I turned around and looked through the door again. Every house on the block had its lights turned off. Nobody was outside, except for one teenage girl. A thin, short-haired girl, wearing what looked like a pillowcase, walked unsteadily down the street, very slowly, looking as though she was having some difficulty. I turned around, now extremely confused and worried, and got the dog's food bowls, which I had forgotten earlier. When I looked up, one of the houses, the one diagonally across from mine, right next to the house across the street and to the left, had its lights on and one of its windows broken. I shuddered and rushed back into the basement as the lights flickered intensely. I locked the door to the basement and sat on an old tattered couch that I had brought down here. The basement's where I put everything I don't have room for. So yeah, it's packed. I forgot to mention something that may be worth noting. I live in a small town, a very small town, probably a population of under 500 or less. As a matter of fact, it isn't even on most maps. We never make any news, we never have any scandals. This is the first interesting thing that's happened, I think, since Mrs. So-and-so lost her dentures to a raccoon. So it's possible this whole thing seems way worse than it is. Call me crazy, but until a few minutes ago, I was thoroughly enjoying myself. I love these scenarios, and my basement's totally secure. I'm having the time of my life. Well, I decided to turn on my radio. What harm could it do, as long as I didn't turn the volume up to high? I was surprised to find that our local radio station was still up and running. They were talking about the weather, so I listened hard for any news I hadn't heard. There wasn't any. They were just as confused as us. Not wanting to listen to crappy pop music indefinitely, I tuned into another station. This was one I hadn't heard before. Could you give me the status of so-and-so county? Over. No new developments? Over. Okay, any fatalities? Over. What part of no new developments do you not understand, McClellan? A squad car will be passing through soon to scan the area for the target. Over. Any ETA on that? Over. No, not yet. Over. Any word from HQ, Jones? Over. No, McClellan, not yet. Not since 013 first got out. Over. Well, let me know if and when they contact you. Over. At that point, I lost the signal. Well, not really, but the connection got so weak that I could barely make out anything they were saying. I figured I must have found a police communication channel, and I'd been left with no answers whatsoever. That was about 45 minutes ago, as of me writing this now. Guys, I don't know what's going on. Do any of you live near me? You'll know if you've received the warning. I'd say what county I live in and which ones were affected, but I don't know to for privacy reasons. Anyway, I'll keep you guys updated, okay? Until then, wish me luck. I love the way they keep these, like, super realistic. But that's the end of the first part.
Fake and bald.
Fake and bald. I agree.
But it's kind of spooky.
I thought the part with the girl walking outside, that really spooked me out.
That spooked me out. The pillowcase was, I'm pretty sure that was like a Drag Race episode runway, but I can't remember which one it was. But she's a shade, that's for sure. That's creepy, that's spooky. The spookiest part was actually the one that I was beeping loud over. Sorry, beeping loud. I love that initial text. This is good. I believe the second part would be bad. I like how he was like, I love these scenarios. That's so fucking psychotic. Like, I understand, like, the feeling of, like, oh, like, when it's raining really hard outside, you love feeling like your home is protecting you, and so you, like, cuddle up with a blanket and whatnot. But, like, not for a fucking emergency text. Like, my basement is secure? Okay, how do you know it's not a nuke? Like, your basement ain't shit. Interesting. But, there you go, guys. That's, it's related to an emergency broadcast alert.
Yeah,
maybe
and
that would
not
happen
knowing
to you.
of it, of what it is.
If you're someone who lives...
Yeah. Oh, well, just... Okay, another story I was going to share was similar, except the other one... God, the other one was, like, a bad weather alert, and then the weather was fine.
Oh, that sounds really spooky.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just gonna say that everyone should watch out if you also live in a little shit town and you like eating mac and cheese and watching Big Bang Theory. I mean, listen, some people deserve to live more than others. Okay.
And it's not, when we're talking about the people that we're superior to,
That's him.
To be honest, I like the Big Bang Theory. I gotta be real. I've been
Really?
watching it in my
I mean, I'm kind of shitting on it for the name of it. I don't think I've ever actually watched it to
I
form
think
an
it's so
opinion.
easy to shit on.
Yeah, it's just one of those things.
I will also say there's another story. It's not technically an emergency alert story, and I'm not going to read it. But it starts, the previous tenant of my new flat left a survival guide. It's on Reddit, and it's just a good story. I read this years ago. I read it again now when I was looking for like warning type stories. And this person receives a note when they move into their flat, and the note has several warnings in a row that get increasingly specific and scary. It's like, don't go into the elevator from this period to this period.
You just send it to me just like for my personal
It's really good.
I love creepypasta like this.
And they're like, and if you do, bring a gun. Don't worry, it's a great place to live. You just have to follow these rules. Then it's like, this guy's gonna try and clean your window, and he's gonna ask you to come in to have some loving. He's gonna be really friendly. No matter what, do not acknowledge him or let him in every single day.
I hate that.
There's
That's like kind of like my neighbor one time left a note on my front door, and it said, "Don't mind the moaning between 2 and 4 a.m."
Are you for real?
On weeknights. No.
Oh my god, I fucking hate you. I'm so gullible. I'm so gullible.
Well, you're young.
I assumed that could be like a sex thing. I thought that was like not a scary thing, but like a
I mean, probably, yeah.
But yeah, no, exactly. It's just like very scary and creepy, and you don't know why exactly, and that like unknown element gives it a lot.
Send that to me.
I will. It's a very good story, and I recommend it in general.
Something I will recommend that's tangentially related to this is, which is totally fake. It's like a creepypasta, or more like a concept. It's Siren Head, and I'm sure you've seen it or something, because like I told you I was going to touch on it, but Siren Head is this creature created by this artist. His name is, I have it right here. What's his name? His name is Trevor Henderson, and it's kind of like Slenderman in the sense that it was like created by someone, and then it kind of blew up on the internet, and then people started making media around it, like stories and videos and whatnot, and it's basically this like really tall creature. Height differs based on the media, but this really tall, skinny creature with like rotten skin for, I don't know, it's like other people's skin for skin. Not for skin. He has other people's skin as his skin. and this creature has like
people in the night.
this creature has like police sirens on like the top of its head, has like 2, one on either side, and it's like supposed to sometimes just roam cities with its like big siren like head just beeping loud at people, and that's supposed to be spooky. It is me. I mean, it's like, that sounds really, really silly, but honestly, Slenderman would sound silly if I just described it like as is. But like the media that people create around Slenderman made it so fucking creepy for me when I was 15. And when I saw what people were doing with Siren Head and how it was blowing up on the internet, I got the same feeling that I did when I first found out about Slenderman. Because there's games and videos and creepypasta about Siren Head now, and it's spooky. Guys, look into it. That's my recommendation.
Get your spook for the day.
I know.
Since you obviously didn't get it with us.
No, not here.
Not today.
Not today. Anyway,
And God said, let the girls and the gays wrap up their first in-person podcast.
Literally, first and last. You guys, this was a one-off. See you never.
Yeah, I'm literally never speaking to Andre again after this.
Yeah,
now that
not
we've met one
this.
time in
She's so
person,
sad.
I'm deeply disappointed. I never want to see you.
Yeah, she doesn't like my height. She thought I'd be white. It's a mess.
It is a mess.
Yeah.
I thought you'd be attracted to women too.
Also, we catfished each other.
Yeah. Because I'm only half gay.
Only half gay. Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. Hit the bell. You guys are trying to get to 1 million subscribers, so subscribe and hit the bell, and so you don't miss any updates. And this is fun. This is fun.
Really fun.
We wanted to give
We
it.
should do a non-scary podcast together.
Listen, shut the fuck up, because I brought this idea up to you like a year ago. Oh wait, was it?
You didn't bring it up to me.
Maybe I didn't actually tell you.
You were talking to some other bitch. Is what it was.
Actually, I think that bitch was Shannon. I think I was talking to her about doing like a something psych lifestyle
Well,
podcast.
go do your lifestyle podcast.
No,
with
she's too
Shannon.
busy. She has a boyfriend now.
Whatever.
She's like sucking dick and cock. She doesn't have time.
I suck dick and cock all
I
the
know.
time.
I mean, she does it a lot more. She doesn't have time. Shannon, answer down in the comments and hit the bell, please, because I know you're not subscribed. Hit that bell. But yes, that's a good idea. That's fresh and hot and hip. I like that. We obviously have a knack for it. Guys, let us know down in the comments and also by hitting the bell if you want us to do a podcast that isn't about scary stuff.
Yeah.
And if so, we probably won't do it, but we'll talk about it.
That's where we use big words.
Like liminal.
Enjoy that. I love how liminal is the only word academic enough that either of us can come up with in the
because we're so
moment.
fucking dumb.
We're so dumb. We're so fucking stupid.
Thank you guys for listening to this, or not. We don't care. We just wanted to put this out there into the world. It has to exist.
Yeah.
All this energy cannot be contained into one room. We have to put it out into the
That's what God
universe.
said about the gays. He said, I wish I could not let them exist, but with all this energy,
But this
brewing,
energy,
and all
honey,
these angels,
girl, I am living, bitch. Okay, you gotta.
it's gotta go somewhere.
Anyway, bye. Goodbye.